When you buy your first camera, you expect the image to look great right away. You think it's a camera, so the picture should look amazing, better than a phone. But in reality, things doesn't work like that. You start shooting and the image looks strange, unstable, or just not how you imagined. Today I will show you 5 common beginner mistakes in video shooting, and I will explain how to fix them so your videos look clean, professional, and intentional. The first and most common mistake is shooting in full auto. In auto mode, the camera controls everything for you: shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. The problem is that the camera reacts to everything in the frame. If something bright appears, the image gets darker. If you turn the camera toward darker areas, it suddenly becomes very bright. As a result, the exposure keeps jumping and the image looks unstable, and the video feels very amateur. And one more important thing, auto footage is very hard to color grade later. Ideally, you should shoot in full manual mode and control all 3 settings yourself. But if that feels too difficult right now, that's totally fine. Start with semi-auto modes. For example, aperture priority. You set aperture and ISO manually, and the camera adjusts shutter speed automatically. Or you can use manual mode with auto ISO. This way you control aperture and shutter speed, and the camera helps you with ISO. Choose what works best for your situation. These 3 settings, shutter speed, aperture, and ISO, are the first things you should learn when you start shooting video. They directly affect how your video looks and feels. The second mistake comes straight from first one. Many beginners don't really understand shutter speed, or simply don't pay attention to it. Let's say you are shooting outside on a sunny day. You want a blurry background, so you open the aperture. ISO is already at minimum. To avoid overexposure, you start increasing shutter speed. And here is the problem. Motion becomes very sharp and choppy. There is almost no motion blur at all. For photos, that's fine. For video, it looks bad. For natural and cinematic motion, shutter speed should be roughly double your frame rate. With these values, motion looks softer, smoother, and more cinematic. But now we have another problem. It's still very bright outside. The solution is simple: ND filters. If you shoot video, ND filters are a must-have. Without them, you either close your aperture and lose background blur, or raise shutter speed again. The easiest option is a variable ND filter. Just rotate it and control the exposure depending on the lights. Mistake number 3: jumping focus and blurry image. When people buy a new camera and a fast lens, they want to shoot everything wide open, f1.4, f1.8. The background looks beautiful, cinematic, and soft, but this doesn't work well in every situation. When wide aperture works well. If your subject is about 2-3 meters away or more, wide aperture usually works great. Depth of field is enough to keep the person in focus, even if they move a little. The same goes for interviews or talking head videos. Camera on a tripod, subject barely moves, wide aperture works perfectly here. When problems start? As soon as you move to close-up shots, everything changes. When you shoot wide open, the depth of field becomes extremely shallow. Only a very tiny part of the image is actually in focus. Almost everything else looks blurry and the focus keeps constantly jumping. That's why close-up shots at f1.4 or f1.8 are almost a bad idea. Close the aperture to at least f4 or even more. For close-ups, manual focus often works best, because the camera doesn't really know what exactly you want to focus on. When not to use wide aperture. Sports, running, kids, animals, anything with fast movement. Subjects moving forward or away from the camera. Full-frame cameras, depth of field is even shallower. On full-frame, f2.8 or f4 is much safer than f1.4. Even if focus slips for a second, it's far less noticeable. Number 4. Wrong white balance. Another very common mistake is ignoring white balance. As a result, footage becomes too blue, too yellow, skin tone looks strange, green, or unnatural. White balance is just as important as exposure, and it should be set on every scene. Auto white balance may seem convenient, but the camera can change color temperature during the same shot. The image becomes inconsistent and color correction later becomes very difficult. How to set white balance correctly? First, try using preset like cloudy, sunny, or shade. It already works much better than auto white balance. Second, adjust Kelvin manually. Move the temperature up or down until the image looks natural and white looks white. 3. Custom white balance. The most accurate option. Find something white in the frame, select custom white balance, and let the camera set it. Simple rule: set white balance manually, not on auto. And mistake number 5, bad audio. Many beginners underestimate sound. They record audio from the camera, place the mic too far, or don't check audio levels. The result is noisy, quiet, or distorted sound. In taking video, sound is often more important than image. People will forgive imperfect visual, but bad audio makes them close the video. How to get clean sound? Use an external microphone. Lavalier, wireless system, shotgun mic, all are better than built-in mics. Place the mic close to the source. Lavalier or wireless about 15-25 cm from the mouth. Shotgun mic as close as possible. For example, I am recording this video with Rode NT-G connected to Rode Wireless Pro. The mic is about 15-20 cm from me, that's why the sound is clean and clear. Always do test recording. Record a few sentences, listen, and adjust levels if needed. Good sound instantly makes your video feels more professional. That's it. 5 more common beginner mistakes. If this video was helpful, subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what other mistakes beginners make. See you in the next one.